Frank Sepe with NPC News Online here at the 2017 NPC Junior Nationals. And I'm here with men's physique competitor Kschristopher. Now, Kschristopher has an interesting story. You look at this guy, he looks phenomenal, just came off stage. Kschristopher's an Air Force captain, and you know, you look at him, you say, wow, how'd he do it? Well, he's gonna tell you a story. He's got a very interesting story. Chris, tell him how you actually got here, what inspired you, and the actions that occurred to bring you here on stage today.
So first things first, I am an active duty officer in the Air Force, and I do this part-time outside of the Air Force as I serve my country, but at the same time I went to the Air Force Academy, and long story short, bodybuilding saved my life, and this is how it happened. So one day, I was a cadet at the Air Force Academy and got really sick. I ended up having kidney failure. As a result, I ended up having inflammatory myositis, which leaves me to think that every time I get stressed out, it negatively impacts my organs. Wow. So there was a chance that I was going to get kicked out of the Air Force med-boarded because they can't have that kind of condition, unless I can prove that I can keep my blood pressure low. Now, my blood pressure on average was 170 over 110, 115 maybe.
Wow.
And so because of that, I had to find a way to bring it down. And that's where I found bodybuilding. So another captain, his name's Sean Doyle, he's my mentor. He said, why don't you try bodybuilding? And I said, I don't know if I want to do it. I like working out and like to eat. And he's like, perfect, just a little bit of discipline and we got this. Long story short, he taught me all that stuff, and bodybuilding brought my blood pressure down. So because of competing, because of this edge, because of the camaraderie and what the NPC stands for, I'm able to stay in, keep my blood pressure low, and it saved my life. So if anything, I owe bodybuilding a lot more than what people think.
Now, you actually competed, you have one kidney, right?
No, this kidney right here is actually this small, and this one's a regular size one. So I definitely have to regiment how I eat. I definitely have to exercise a certain way and stay disciplined all year round. So it's not an easy life, but anything worth doing, you got to do it.
How does that affect your prep?
How it affects my prep? Well, besides the normal, you have to count every single thing, everything has to be regimented, I have to make sure that sodium is a certain way because that affects blood pressure. Red meat is another thing. I don't typically have red meat unless it's like a special occasion. But those are the kinds of things that I have to kind of stay away from. So I tend to stay with white fish, white meat, stuff like that.
Do you feel like it's easier for veterans and people in the armed forces to compete than it is for other people because they're so regimented? And in order to compete and get into condition you have to be extremely regimented?
I would say so. I would say it is very difficult, like anybody that's in prep, but being in the military, there's a certain way about saying, hey, this is like an order. I'm going to execute this flawlessly, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. So that part is there. As far as the time, yes, because we serve in the military, it does limit our time, but that only forces us to be more efficient and be purposeful with our training and eating.
What show did you qualify to get here? I'm just curious.
I did the Minnesota North Star in October, and then that was last year, and then I ended up doing a natural show that December because being in the military, that's one of the things that we have to consider, being natural. So a lot of what I do is all natural, and I'm proud to say that. So
there you have. Well, you make us proud, man. We're, thank you for your service, and you really did well today. You were in the first call out.
I believe so. I don't know. I think it was, yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'm so hungry, and who knows what it is right now.
What are you going to eat now?
Probably some rice and some tilapia, but tonight's
right.
Gonna be a good time. Tonight's gonna be a good time.
What's on the menu? Blood pressure, buddy.
That's a good point. I think I'm gonna have deep dish pizza, but I'm gonna kind of keep it moderate. But I'm gonna enjoy myself. You gotta have fun. So
obviously the goal is to get your pro card, right? What would be your first pro show if you did get your pro card? Is there any show you've been to or that you looked at, you said, you know what, I see myself on stage there at some time?
I honestly don't know. The goal was to just go pro and just show the world and all my military brethren, like, hey, it's possible. Hard work, guys. We can serve our country and we can achieve our goals, and don't let anything stop you. So whether you're in the military or not, just be encouraged that there are guys and women that are out there really serving it and doing it. So that's my encouragement to everybody.
Well, you did phenomenal. We hope you achieve your goals. You look great, and thank you for sharing your story with us. Thank you for your service. And how do people get in contact with you through social media?
Well, my name is spelled really weird. I know we were trying to figure it out before this. My name's actually spelled Kschris, so Chris Anda, A-N-D-A. So you can find me on Facebook or Instagram at Chris_Anda. So thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Chris. I really appreciate it. This is Frank Sepe for NPC News Online. Awesome. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks. Awesome.